The Adebanjos were the kind of family that seemed picture perfect from the outside. Tunde Adebanjo, a tall, calm, intelligent man in his 40s, worked as a senior manager at a reputable bank in Lagos. His wife, Chioma, a graceful woman with a heart of gold, ran a thriving fashion brand from home. Their daughter, Linda, was the light of their lives, bright-eyed, curious, and full of joy. But as their work grew busier and Chioma's business expanded, they realized they needed help. They decided to hire a live-in house help, someone who could handle the chores and care for Linda when they were unavailable. Grace came highly recommended by a distant cousin. She was 23, with a quiet demeanor, soft features, and a respectful tone that immediately won Chioma over. "She's perfect," Chioma had said after their first meeting. "She seems calm and gentle." At first, things seemed fine. Ada was always clean, the house was tidy, and meals were ready on time. But as weeks turned into months, Chioma began to sense a change in her daughter. Linda, once lively and chatty, became quiet. She no longer sang her favorite rhymes or jumped into Chioma's arms after school. Sometimes, she flinched at sudden movements and cried at night for no apparent reason. One evening, Chioma was helping Linda change into her pajamas when she noticed faint bruises on her back and upper arm. "Linda, what happened?" she asked gently, her heart racing. Linda looked away. "I fell," she whispered. Chioma wasn't convinced. That night, she told Tunde. "I don't know, Tunde. Something is wrong. She's not the same. Should we ask Grace directly?" he offered. Chioma shook her head. "No. If something is happening, we need proof." So they made a decision. The next morning, they installed small hidden cameras in the living room, Linda's room, and the hallway. Days passed with no clear sign. Grace remained efficient, quiet, and respectful. But on the fifth evening, Chioma sat in her room, scrolling through the footage. And what she saw broke her. On the screen, Grace dragged Linda into the room by her ear. "You this small idiot. You think you're better than me? Always acting like a princess." She slapped the little girl hard across the face. Linda whimpered. "If you tell your mommy, I will pour your cereal in the dustbin and break your teddy. Don't test me." Chioma dropped the phone. Her hands trembled. Her eyes filled with tears. Tunde rushed in. "What is it?" Chioma showed him the footage. Tunde's face turned cold. "Call the police." The next day, Tunde and Chioma calmly went through the motions. They smiled at Grace. They didn't let her know anything was wrong. Meanwhile, the police and a social worker waited quietly outside. That evening, they invited Grace to sit in the living room. Tunde held a tablet in his hand. "We want to show you something," he said, tapping the screen. Grace's face dropped as she watched the footage play. She collapsed to the floor. "Please. I was stressed. She talks too much, she's always spilling things. I didn't mean to." Chioma stood up, her voice trembling. "You put your hands on our child. You bullied and terrorized a 5-year-old girl. You broke the trust we gave you." The police entered, and Grace was arrested on the spot. After Grace's arrest, Linda began therapy with a gentle child psychologist. Slowly, she began to speak more, to laugh, to sing again. But it took time. Chioma couldn't shake the guilt. I was right here and I didn't know. Tunde took her hand. You listened to your instincts. You protected her. That's what matters. Chioma turned her pain into purpose. She launched an online platform called Speak for the Silent, where parents shared stories, tips, and warning signs to look out for. She worked with NGOs to train domestic staff and advocated for mandatory background checks. The experience scarred them, but it also strengthened them. Moral lessons. 1. Always listen to your child's unspoken words. Changes in behavior are often signs of deeper issues. 2. Trust your instincts. When something doesn't feel right, investigate. 3. Not all that glitters is gold. Good behavior on the surface can mask darker truths. 4. Justice is not vengeance, it's protection. People must be held accountable to protect others. 5. Pain can be a seed for purpose. What breaks you can build others if you use it right. Kindly subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a journey into the heart of African folklore.